If you're running a coaching business or an agency business, it's probably not unlikely that you have to send contracts to your customers with slightly different variations between them. For example, a different upfront payment and a different payment plan that they pay off over a different period for different amounts. And some of those admin things can be quite tiring when you have to do it for, say, a handful of customers each week or even each month, because each contract is different and you have to make sure you do the details correctly. So this video is going to show you how you can generate a contract automatically that is also going to work with situations that the contract has to be variable. And all it's going to need in this video is Zapier, of course, because that's what I do. We're going to need a Google form, as simple as it is, to kickstart the process. And then one recommended app that I've come across that works really well is called esignatures.io. And I'm going to show you how these all connect together to create a super simple contract onboarding flow for when you get that exciting close of a new customer. And now you don't have to go through as much of the burdensome admin as you normally have to do. This is our super simple Zap. I wasn't lying, it's literally just 2 steps. In this case, we are going to kick off this process with a Google form. I'm a big fan of Google Forms and just various other forms to kickstart processes. If you're using HubSpot, for example, or ActiveCampaign, you can do the exact same thing. You can kickstart a process with one of those forms. And the reason I like these is because we can structure the data that gets filled out the same way by, say, a virtual assistant or a team member or a sales rep. In this example, the form I'm going to show you is from a sales rep. And then in the next step, we are creating a contract using esignatures.io. And let me just quickly show what the form looks like, and then we'll go into what we're doing in this Zap here. So the form, as you can see, in this situation, it's a sales rep. They've just closed someone and they need to fill out some quick details about the customer: the name, email address, what type of deal it was, how big the deal size is, the upfront amount, etc., etc. Some of those very typical details that might happen in an agency or coaching business where the contracts can be a little bit different for each person, especially based on payment terms. Then when it comes to esignatures.io, you can see here right away, I really like this app because it's super simple. Some of the other contract apps can be a little bit overcomplicated and it's got quite a lot going on, but esignatures.io is super simple, and it is also supported by Zapier, which I like. And you can see here, I'm sure you can guess, the way that we are going to be able to get these variable amounts in, like the upfront payment, the deposits, the payment plan, the currency, all these type of things, is by using these little variable markers here. So take good notice of what these are called here. There's rate, there's program fee, upfront fee, all these different things. And you can put them in however you want. You can place them throughout the text. They can be headlines. They can sit however you want them to sit. And it's really easy to type it up in this process, for example. And you can see here what our final contract would look like is, this is my first test contract, and you can see here, this is where I dropped in. And it just shows up like any other text. It doesn't look out of place or anything like that. It looks like it was literally made custom right on the spot by someone manually. Jumping back to our Zap, you can see again how simple it is. It's just 2 steps. I've submitted a sample bit of data so we can actually go through this bit by bit. And you can see here, I've submitted the form we were just looking at. So we got the email, we got the name, the program type, the upfront payment, things like that. Don't worry about the fact that the naming doesn't look very good here. It shows up normally in the next steps. Now going on to the next step, all we need to do is just make sure that we have the correct fields from the form in the previous step in the correct field places of our e-signature action step. You could also use PandaDoc. I've had very good experiences with PandaDoc as well. But the other ones like DocuSign, things like that, I found they're not very good when it comes to using variables in your contracts. And as we're saying, if you are watching this video, you probably have a situation that each of your contracts are quite variable between customers. So as I said, we're just making sure we got the fields in the correct place. The signer name, full name, email the client. We've got our own details here as the signee too. They really allow you to add a lot of different signees, but you can just leave out a lot of these things. And then this is the important bits that we were looking at on the template on esignatures.io side, the variables. So if you remember, I was saying we had rate, we had program fee, upfront fee, and all we're doing is just dropping in these values to make sure that they line up correctly. And now all you need to do is, once we turn on this automation, you have your person, your team member or your closer fill out that form, and both parties are going to receive the contract ready to be signed. And if you want to take this to the next step, you can obviously set up another Zap that triggers based on a signed contract on e-signature side to say when a new contract is signed, Then we can, let's say, create a Google folder. We can put them into our program course. We can add them to Slack. We can send them welcome emails. We can do a whole bunch of things. But as simple as this is using just a form, we can kickstart a whole onboarding process, and also in this case, generate contracts for them, which are nicely structured and are a lot less prone to human error because of how we've forced someone to use a form that's going to be the same every time. And it doesn't matter, they don't have to go into Google Docs and tweak things and print out PDFs and all that kind of craziness. If you found this video useful, I hope that you can get started with your contracts very quickly. If you want someone just to do it for you instead, then obviously you can reach out to me. I am a certified Zapier expert, and I've done this for many kinds of very many different sizes. So you can reach out to me in the description for a bit of help. Or if you want to just get better at automation skills yourself and not necessarily have someone do it for you, then you can also reach out to me, because I do select one-on-one mentoring as well, helping people improve their automation skills. And that obviously allows you not to be reliant on just someone else coming into a business. You can actually do it yourself and get a lot more creative. If you enjoyed the video and you found them useful, then I'd obviously appreciate a like and a subscribe, because I'm going to continue putting out these very bite-sized tutorials that help with interesting business use cases.